Expect questions like this in the methods exams where VCAA combines different topics into one. Now, if you don't know how to answer this question, then check out mathsmethodsclub.com.au where you can learn how to answer past maths methods exam questions. Now for this question, we're given the graph of f of x and g of x, and we're told how many station points does f of g of x have for x is between 0 and 5. To find the number of station points, we need to let the derivative equal 0. We need to derive f of g of x. And so using the quick chain rule method, we're going to derive the outer function, which is going to be f dash of g of x, multiplied by the derivative of the inside function, which is g dash of x, and we're going to let this equal to 0. From here, we can then say that f dash of g of x has to equal 0, or g dash of x has to equal to 0. Now, the number of stationary points is going to be the number of x values where both of these equations are going to be true. Now, the easier one is going to be g dash of x is equal to 0. This is basically where the graph of g of x is going to have a turning point. And looking at the graph, we can see that there's just only one point where g of x is going to have a turning point. And so there's only one x value where g dash of x will equal to 0. Now, as for f dash of g of x is equal to 0, this is the tricky part. We need to find where this is going to equal to 0. Now, looking at the graph of f of x, we can see that it's got two turning points. One roughly at x is equal to a half, and one at roughly at x is equal to, let's say, 3.5. So we can then say that f dash of a half will equal 0, and f dash of 3.5 will also equal to 0. Which then means that the value of g of x would have to equal a half, or 3.5 for f dash of g of x to equal to 0. Looking at the graph of g of x, where this is going to equal a half, if we draw a horizontal line where y is equal to half and where y is equal to 3.5, then we can see that g of x is going to equal a half at 2 points. And it's going to equal 3.5 at 1 point where x is between 0 and 5. And so there's going to be 3 different x values where f dash of g of x is going to equal to 0. And so the total number of stationary points that f of g of x is going to have is going to be 3 plus 1, which is 4, and this is option C.